Hey guys, welcome to week 4. I hope you guys have a great week and are having or had a great Easter as well. Um, this week, being week 4, we have about 3 more weeks left until the end of this course. And with that, your final project is also due at that time. So I hope at this point your project is progressing. Remember that um, with this class, it's not something you can put that final project together at the last minute. It's something that you really have to work with throughout the course, throughout these weeks. I hope you're already into your data collection. If not, you really need to get started with that so that you're able to implement your change and then collect some more data afterwards. So I hope that's going well. Again, if there's something I can do to help you with that, please do not hesitate to contact me in some way. This week, there's quite a few things on Moodle, and so when you look at it, I don't want you to panic, but there's a few things on there that you don't necessarily have to do this week, but I just wanted to give it to you this week so that you can have it and you can start looking at it because it's going to help you as we get closer to the end. One of them is the final project. It's a voiceover that I did for the final project, and it's a PowerPoint, and it basically just kind of goes through the rubric that's used for the final project, and it kind of gives you a Cliff Notes version of it. So that'll help you because when you look at that rubric, I'm sure some of the things don't really make sense to you. So the hope is that that helps you. Now, it may not be helpful this week yet, but here in a couple weeks, so I wanted you to have that. And then there's also a couple things on there about how some possibilities about how you might do your final presentation for this class. If you remember during the last week also, you have to do an oral presentation, and I know some of you have asked, well, how can I do an oral presentation? It may be something like what I'm doing now. This is what I use for this is Screencast-O-Matic. It's a free thing that you can use up to 15 minutes. So that would be one thing you could do. You could also do a voiceover to a PowerPoint, which is what I do. You could use one of those. If you have a different option that works better for you, I'm more than willing to let you use any of those. But basically, you're going to have to come up with a way that you can basically go through your project that you're coming up with and talk about it. So however you would like to do that, whichever way works best for you. So there's a couple directions on how to use the Screencast-O-Matic, which I'm doing right now. That's on there at the bottom of this week's Moodle, as well as how to do a voiceover with PowerPoint if you want to use that. And so I put those on there this week. Not that you have to do anything with them this week, but that those of you that may not be as familiar with technology and all the different things, it'd be a good time for you to start playing around with those things. So when it does come time for the final project, or for the oral presentation, you're not struggling with how to do that. So that's the reason those things are on there. For this week, the main things that you need to do, there's some reading to do, and there's a couple PowerPoints and things to be reading on there. Then we have the discussion forum. You want to make sure you do that again this week. And then there's also a place on there for you to do your action research planning guide. And hopefully you see on there, doesn't have to be long and drawn out. It's pretty short. It's just giving a couple of the basics about where you're at so far with your project is basically what you're doing. What's your initial statement, your initial hypothesis, what ways are you collecting your data. So you're just going to type that up and submit that. Again, it doesn't have to be big or large at this point, just kind of where you're at so far with your project. And it gives some specific details about what to do there. So 2 more chapters to read in your Mertler book. When you're done with this week, there's only 1 more chapter to read for the next week, and then you'll have nothing to read for the final 2 weeks. So it'll give you more time just to focus on putting your project together. So that's kind of the hope, is to spend the next couple weeks getting most of the stuff done and giving you more time the last 2 weeks to just really focus on doing your project. So with that, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to let me know this week. Again, I hope you had a great Easter, and let me know if I can be helping you guys out at all. Thank you.